Welcome to the third day of racing in lovely Portorož, Slovenia. We are just catching the first start here.
Yeah, but don't we need the two up already?
And we're following the fifth race in the regatta. Today, we understand there will be no trackers out in the fields. I think an extra weight lays on us in the stream here to try to follow as much as possible of the sailing. It's been a bit of a long wait. The wind has not really picked up earlier compared to the other days. It's been slower. But today, now it's starting to fill in, and lo and behold, they also started the races. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're already live here with the yellow group for race 5, as you said, Peter. And we can see it's a bit lighter. There's not that much wind, but the fleet is already going, so that's good.
Yeah. The group to the left, it looks like Alexander Forsén, Manuel Braganza. We have Cyprus and Singapore out at the max edge there, straight, nice line. We see some in the mid having a really good start, right? A little bit ahead of the fleet there. So they will compete against this on the left side. It looks like Manuel Braganza and Alex Forsén has gotten a really good start coming out on the left.
Yeah, we have also here Cyprus sailor Micaela pushing to that left side of the course, and to the windward of her, as you said, we have Brazil. It's Manuel Braganza from Brazil, the leader of the race. Just for everyone watching new today for the first time, we're just gonna refresh how the groups split today. Today is a qualifying, so works a bit different than the usual cut of gold and silver fleet. And just for those knowing, the order we have is the following. We have first is yellow, second is blue, third is red, fourth is green, fifth is green, sixth is red, seventh is yellow, eighth is yellow, ninth is yellow, and so on. They do this so the fleets are split in an even and more fair way, let's say. We can see that most of the fleet are already pushing to this left side of the course. But in the end of the screen, we can see a bit of patchiness still. The sea breeze hasn't fully kicked in. And we can see this, that there are like lighter spots. Lighter spots always means less wind, and the sailors for sure don't want this. We now see Ashley from Singapore sailing fast to windward of Alexander from Sweden. Alexander definitely being very fast in this condition and is able to extend. We also have Malta sailor Matthias. Matthias was yesterday doing quite well also, and looks like he's already to a speedy start. And now we're seeing more towards the center of the line. We have Lithuania's Mila, Australian Walter also getting a good start. Walter was in the top guys yesterday doing a great race, and looks like he's off to another great start today. So congrats there, Walter. Here we have Peru's Joaquin Acevedo doing good. He started in this mid pack, and here we have also Argentina's Bautista and Spain's Mar Infante, all got a good start and they're able to push. We can see that those boats that are going to the right side of the course, which is the top part of our screens at the moment, are in less pressure. You can see they're sailing slower and they're going into those patchy places that are for sure less wind. Next up, we have here Andrea de Murtas. Andrea more to the right than those leading boats that we saw now. And yeah, he's pushing towards the left side of the course from a higher lane. Andrea is 9th overall with a 3, 4, 11, and a 6. And he's 9th overall. We also have in this group Manuel Orleans, the leader of the group, and Carl Vincent, I believe, from Denmark is also here. Yeah, he's also in this group. He's 8th overall at the moment, scored 15, 2, 3, and 3.
I saw him in the middle of the fleet there. Okay, start, absolutely.
We now are seeing Victor from Poland pushing from this higher lane. And we now see that these boats that are going to the right side of the course are definitely going to have a hard time. Great view from the fleet pushing. We can also see that in this left side of the course is a bit patchy. Maybe a bit more wind, maybe a bit more, but it's a really, really tricky day.
Remember that in here,
Brazilian Manuel Orleans, really good start there. Manuel won the Europeans last year, the overall, but as he was non-European, he couldn't get the title. And yeah, he's already extended over the fleet, looking strong there. Crossing those that were more to the right side of the course. We see here also William from Canada. Has a really good lane, but just getting pushed, crossed by the leader. Walter also looking good there. And we can see now Miles Gordon from the US crossing these boats that got a good start in the left side of the start. Hong Kong's Margot also looking good, pushing strong there. To windward of her, we have Ashley from Singapore. These guys are extended, and something that's really, really important in light winds is that when it gets to the fleet, you have to think of it as a wall. It gets and it touches the fleet, and those in the front get more wind, but those in the back get very, very little wind. So it is very important in light winds to have a good lane and be able to extend, especially in the corners. That's where the wind accumulates the most, and those are why we see in light winds people really pushing for the sides of the course.
I think Alex is having a really good position here. Carl Birgersson coming up behind Singapore there from Denmark. But Margot and Alex have extended a little bit from the rest of this. But let's see what happens on the left as well as they come in. Margot attacking.
As you can see, Peter, everybody's sailing with very wide lanes today. It's very important to have the opportunity to bear away a bit and speed up the boat when needed, because if you're sailing in a tight lane and you slow the boat, it's game over. So you see all the sailors really pushing here for wide lanes, and as soon as they get tacked on, they go and find clear wind. Here we see Danish Carl in a bit of a tricky situation. If he tacks, he's going to go inside, the boat's in the left side. And yeah, he's got a boat in front, so it's going to be tricky moments for him. Mari Infante passing behind some boats. Argentina's, I believe it was Bautista. I'm not 100% sure because we just lost him in the screen. Also with a good lane. Here, German Johnny Sapp looking good, going for attack and crossing the fleet again. Whilst we see Italia's Pietro looking good there, and we're gonna switch now for a second to the blue start and see how they're going.
It looks like it's less than a minute for the blue start. Oh, that was less than a minute. I think we're starting.
Yes, it was probably less than 10 seconds there, but good. We're here. We see Spanish Giampaolo in the committee end. Good start, really good space. To windward of him, we have Italy's, I believe is Christian. Let's double check. Yes, Christian Castellan there. Good lane there. And again, most of the fleet pushing on starboard. Those that are on port are those that didn't have the best lane and have had to find some clear wind now. So we already have some early leaders from the race. We have also Marta Mancito here with a good lane, really working the boat to leeward of her. We have Inés from Puerto Rico, Polish sailor Maximilian there working the boat really well, and Austrian sailor Simon also pushing there. Everybody holding on this right lane. The sailors and the coaches probably see something on the left side of the course and they're pushing to get there. Let us know from where are you watching and who are you cheering for today. It's going to be a very tricky day in this light stuff. The second overall, Ola from Ukraine, already looking strong. She won 2 races yesterday and looks like she's going to be aiming for some good racing also today. Attacking right now is her teammate Andriy from Ukraine also, and he just lost the lane and he has to find some clear wind. We have here those that have pushed more for the left side of the starting line. We have here Giorgio Carnavas. Giorgio, I believe, was the overall leader yesterday. No, sorry. Yes, he won the first 2 races of the first day of racing, and yesterday he scored a 4th and 28. But he's looking strong already.
What's happening there?
Yeah, Polish.
That's Rulka, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing turns. Probably got flagged by the umpire, and he just needs to take those penalties. Turkish sailor Asaf looking strong towards that left side of the course, and Puerto Rico's Diego Jose really extending and pushing. He's taking a bet there and going to the left side, but looks like Puerto Rico sailors have very clear idea of what they're doing because his teammate Diego Andres also pushing with him there towards that left side. Let's go back and check on the yellow fleet, see how they're doing. As you can see, it's light here, Peter?
Yes.
It's looking light. We have Alexander from Sweden looking comfy there. To leeward of him, we have Italy's Pietro also looking good. And it's very light stuff. We have a leader that has already extended quite a lot. We are going to get closer to him and see who he is. But overall, the fleet is really spreading out in this light stuff. It's really important to understand that from 2 knots to 4 knots doesn't look like a big difference. It's only 2 knots, but it's double the wind intensity. So in this light stuff, 1 or 2 knots of breeze is already a big, big difference.
And we can also see the wind is coming in from a completely different direction today, right?
Yeah.
So it's coming into the entire bay, straight out from the top of the bay. While the 2 previous days we've had the starting ship at a completely different side, and the wind coming in over the Croatia part. And straight from that direction, right? So it's that can also, of course, influence how strong the wind is.
Yeah, definitely. Today is looking a bit lighter, as you say, a bit different condition. Even something small as few degrees can really affect how it's coming with respect to the land. So it's very tricky. It's very tricky, definitely in this light stuff. Let's just go a bit over an overview of the forecast. Today we expect 6 knots and slow build during the afternoon to 9 knots at 5. So looks like it will be strongly, little by little, getting stronger. We see here Manuel Braganza, very good in that light stuff. Won last year in Marina Carrara in the Europeans. It was a very light event and looks like he's liking it here again. He's already extended quite a lot. Looks like second overall we have Johnny from Germany. Margao looks from Hong Kong also looking quite good there. And let's go see the other fleets now, shall we, Peter?
Yeah.
We're back in blue, I believe. Let's see if we can get close to them. But yeah, looks like a blue fleet to me. Again, we're seeing those boats going more towards the left side of the course. We're seeing everybody that can is holding and extending towards that left side. Those that are maybe losing their lane have to tack and tack back again. But we can see what we were saying throughout the day. Very, very patchy. Looks like it's getting a bit better now in the top side of the course. So we expect this breeze to come down slowly and trickle to the blue fleet also. We have here Polish sailor Maximilian. Probably lost the lane before, and now he's been more in the right side of the course. You need to switch because I'm going to yes. And let's switch now, shall we? And we're seeing the yellow approach. Very tricky, eh, Peter? Look at those lines of light winds.
Oh, yeah. You, and this is a great picture of what we talked about. If you enter one of those the lighter areas where there's really not a lot of wind, that's when you can lose a lot.
Yeah.
And this, as we said yesterday as well, the sailors have to see this at the distance as they come in and really avoid them. They don't have the advantage of flying as high as we are doing with the drones.
Yeah, sailors unfortunately can't have this helicopter view we're having, and it's quite tricky for them. But priority, like a day like this, is just linking the pressures and just being fast. As I said before, 2 to 4 knots makes a big difference, same as 4 to 8. So whatever pressure increase you can get, you'll take it. Another important thing in days like this is that you make speed when tacking. It's not that you lose distance, so tacking is not that costly and you can tack when needed. As we see the yellow fleet approaching now the top mark, red fleet is getting started, so we'll soon switch to them and see how they're doing, but looks like they're still
pop in a bit with the red, right, while we're waiting for the approach on the yellow.
Sure.
So as you see, they haven't really formed yet. So this is still a bit away from when it starts. Group of sailors feeling that pin will give them something. Many still traveling from one end to the other.
Yeah, and it's very important in days like this to really take a decision before where you want to start, because the starting line is massively long, and if you try to cross maybe when it's 3 minutes, you're not gonna get to the other side. So if you really want to start in pinning, you have to commit to it early and go to it early, because if not, you won't be able to get there. And looks like some boats are even going to try and start on port, right, Peter?
Yeah.
Tricky move there, tricky move. Let's see how it plays off for them. Looks like we're very, very close to go time.
Yeah.
Fleet starting to align on starboard, and on the other hand, we also have the yellow fleet approaching. So let's see how the red star plays off, and then we'll change course soon.
They'll probably pop right in with the yellow round in the top rounders there, right? I think they still have 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, we'll have to go and see how they're rounding and how it's going. But let's just wait for this.
It's tricky trying to catch 4 fleets at the same time. All over the course, things are happening constantly. We switch to the yellow for a while here, yeah. See what's coming in here. Looks like Manuel Braganza is taking the lead here at the first mark.
Yeah, looking comfy, a bit of distance ahead, so he's gonna have a good race now. Just needs to keep control and Yeah, make sure he doesn't lose any spots. Second, we have here Italy's Pietro rounding second overall. Pietro is at the moment 64th, so he's close to the cut of gold and silver. 12, 13, 6, 36, and 24 are his results, so he will for sure take the second place he's doing now. Looks like here is going to be tight between Danish Carl and German Johnny. Swedish Alexander just tucking here 2 sterns, and he will go and round 5th overall. Next up, we have US sailor Miles Gordon. Miles just did a bit too short leyline and has to go for 2 tacks here to make it in. We see everybody rounding here: China, Argentina, Malta, Germany. It is very light. It is very, very light. And you can see that being close to the mark when rounding can be very expensive. So it's important to know, not.
It's tricky there.
Yeah. Margal's from Hong Kong in a tricky spot. Andrea de Murtas gave himself a bit more breathing space and didn't try to do such a tight ley line, but you can see that everybody that's doing tight ley lines is going to be paying it because they slowed down the boat too much. Tricky stuff today, very tricky.
Tight races when it's like this, right?
Yeah. Shall we go see how it's working on the other?
Yeah, I think we go over to the red and see if we can catch something there. The start has already gone, as you saw. It was just about to start.
We have here a very nice overview of the whole course. Again, still patchy, still tricky.
Yeah, it's not at all the same conditions as we had the 2 other days, but that's the joy of sailing, right? It's never exactly the same day after day.
Yeah, even for them, it's the same race. It's race 5 for everyone, but you can see that they have different conditions because the sea breeze is building slowly, and maybe the yellow group just started with a very, very early sea breeze, and maybe the green fleet in 5-10 minutes start with a completely different breeze. Very patchy still, very tricky. Days like this are like sweating days and really, really having to think, and you can't afford to slow down the boat. You really have to sail fast all the time and make sure that you don't lose any lanes. In this fleet, we have sailors such as Chris Wagner from Austria. Chris has done few good races in the series for now. To leeward of him, we have Mexico's Emiliano. Good start there. Very ahead of the people around him. He probably had a really good start. And now to leeward of him, we have Netherlands Thies. And it looking good, in good position. We have here Swedish sailor Elsa attacking now. And yeah, nice overview. Again, we see many boats pushing for this left side. We have here Thailand sailor Pailin pushing towards this left side. To leeward of him, we have Guillermo Rieder. Guillermo was 3rd overall yesterday. Let's see how he did. He is
under him. We have Malta, Sebastian de Majo.
Yeah. Good race. Guillermo is now 6th overall. He scored with a scoreline of 2-3, 3-10, and looking like another good race for him now. It's still very early. Many things can happen, but as I'm saying before, once you're in the front in light conditions, you keep there. You just have to sail fast and get to the pressures and sling the pressures. Yeah, we have Singapore sailor tagging here in front of another Singapore.
And even Shia battling it out in the
team battle. To leeward of him, and now crossing in a very, very strong position, we have Mehmet from Turkey. looking strong there, looking fast. And something that's also very important in this light stuff is that when you have speed, you can point higher because of the apparent wind that we create with this speed. So if you're able to sail fast, like now Mehmet is doing, you can see that you can point a bit higher.
I have to correct you. I would like to be called Erkut, I think, but let's go.
My bad, Peter. Sorry.
No problem. But yeah, already we see some really crystallizing already at this stage. We also have Marcos Soares from Brazil there.
Yeah, the Brazilian team is definitely looking strong in this regatta. They're really liking this slight tricky stuff. Marcos at the moment is 70, very close to this gold fleet cut that we'll have to after today, with a scoreline of 18, 38, 20, and 14. So if he's able to get a good race now, he'll be happy about it for sure. Norway sailor just passing behind, I believe it was Malta. Yeah, Norway's passing behind Sebastian from Malta. His group is leading and looking strong. Nice overview here of the racing. Nice overview. Let's go see what we have in the other screen, shall we? Just
I think they are lining up, but it's still a ways to go for the start there.
okay, so they still have a bit of time left. Erkut looking very strong there. Very nice lead that he got there. Early lead is always good in this light stuff, so good for him.
But also Ethan yeah, that's Erkut, yeah.
Erkut is at the moment 22nd overall with a scoreline of 13, 3, 10, and 9. So if he can take a bullet here, he's going to be looking very strong for those finals. Erkut, I believe, won Torrevieja Regatta at the start of the year. It's an international regatta with high level always. So it's nice to see that those regatta results are translating here also into world's results.
Who do we have up here? We're just missing the sail on that one. So we go over to green start. They're lining up here. We think it's like, I think that was
the 1 minute gun here. 1 minute left to the start.
Okay, so we're getting closer here, maybe a few seconds, yeah.
Yeah, less than 1 minute left for this start. The fleet is quite spread out, looking like a bit of more congestion in that pin end. And let's see how it goes for them. In this fleet, we have the fourth.
There we have the start going.
Yeah, that was gone. Time to go. And let's see who's able to take this early lead. Somebody taking penalty already. I believe it's Japan Sailor. Yep, that was Japan Sailor taking penalty there. Chile looking good. Japan also looking good. Australia also. We can see that those boats in the pennant are already starting to take a bit of advantage. Probably the pennant was a bit favored.
Yeah, and we see it's weighted much more towards the pin this time than it was previously, right? And also starting on the line but closer to pin, it seems like a strategy. We have Argentinian sailor there coming away, Juan Propersi. We have Slovenia home sailor is well placed, right? 497.
Yeah, it's Ida from Slovenia there. Singapore also looking good. It's Lucas Cao. And you can see that those in the pin already were able to take the advantage and tag. We have here the Spaniards,
We have
Juan
Swedish sailor
and Alejandro.
coming loose there. Very good start at the top.
Definitely that pennant was paying off. We have also Puerto Rico sailor just taking that advantage and cashing it in. It's Rafael Ernesto from Puerto Rico.
Swede was Ernst Åkesson, as far as I saw.
Great shot here of the overall position of, I believe it's the Blue Fleet, right? Let's see if we can check who it is. Yeah. That's the Blue Fleet here. We have Guillermo Reader. Let's see who's tagging there. Here we have Brazilian. We have Belgium sailor, Slovenian sailor. It's the Red Fleet. Apologies, not the Blue Fleet here. Tricky light stuff here. Arthur Lamin taking a good, looking like strong contender for this race already, along with Belgium sailor Paul and Malta sailor Sebastian. Looking all good here. They're really working the boat. They can't afford it to slow down. They're here in a tight lane and they can't afford to slow down the boat too much. Portugal's Guilherme looking good there. We're now seeing the leaders of the yellow group. We have here Manuel Braganza taking the lead as we saw in the upwind mark. Good job, Manuel, holding into that lead. Second, we have Italy's Pietro. And we see not a lot of changes, Peter? We see Brazilian Manuel, Italy's Pietro, and Carl Vincent from Denmark all here in the top three. I believe fourth overall, it's Germany's Johnny still there, so not a lot of changes in these top positions. Yeah.
We will experience. Then we have Carl Birgersson as well in a very good spot. I think he's gained some on the downwind here. Absolutely. We will experience some connection problems with the drones. Excuse us for that, but that's just the way it is. Where the where the course is today. But we'll do our best to compensate.
Yeah, just like the race committee that have gone further out to find more wind, it's the same. They had a bit of tricky times here, closer to the shore, so they had to go further away to solve some problems, and we'll do the same. Just try to solve some problems and get the streaming running as good as possible. So looks like Brazil's Manuel holding into first, Pietro second, Carl from Denmark third overall, Germany's Johnny fourth, and looks like it's Sweden's Alexander, right?
Alexander Forsén.
Yeah,
yes,
taking that fifth. Big gap to the sixth. As I was saying before, in this light stuff, it's very easy to just spread out the fleet and you just take the advantage. Good for those in front, bad for those in the back. Sixth overall, we have Miles Gordon from the US, so not a lot of changes here. It's hard to overtake and when the boats are so in front. Let's see the blue rounding. I believe it's the blue roundings here.
I think it's been happening for a while. I think we missed a couple of them there, right? 4.
Yeah. We're seeing here. I think we're also seeing the first of the Red Fleet rounding. Sorry, in the background. Could that be the Red Fleet, Peter?
Yeah, that's probably it.
So the fleets are starting to get close. Where does it happen? Wait. Fleets are starting to catch up each other. Looks like they all want to get the racing done quickly in this light stuff. You're seeing here the last few boats of this blue fleet, and we're seeing in the background also the first of the red fleet. It's going to be tight between them. Looking super light here in the top upwind mark. Just see how light the wind is, and we can maybe understand why they're catching up. Maybe there was a bit more wind at the bottom of the course, and it just got lighter here.
Yeah, you see the pattern on the water is just around the mark. It's really calming down, so they go on the energy from before, right?
And we're gonna just wait around here to see who's the first rounding. Looks like it's gonna be Brazil's Marcos. No, it's Erkut from Turkey taking that first overall. Looks like he wants to join the blue fleet, eh?
Yeah.
Getting there to catch.
Soon catch up.
Congrats, Erkut. Great racing there. Being very fast. Let's see if he makes it to the mark. No, he'll have to do 2 tacks. But as I said before in this light stuff, you don't lose, you probably even gain. That's why overtacking can be also a reason why the umpire puts a penalty on you. Looks like Brazil's Marcos is going to be second overall now. Again, everybody a bit short of ley line. Here on third overall, we have, looks like Malta's Sebastian taking third.
Very light patch here.
Yeah.
Extremely light, right?
Followed by Norway's Oscar, and looks like Pablo Munoz from the US is going to be taking that fifth. It's warm in there, that's for sure. Everybody's with their hats on or their lycras covering their head, and they just need to keep cool and keep on thinking. 6th overall for Guilherme Rieder from Portugal, and Brazil's Arthur Lamin doing 2 tacks there just to round. It is getting tight here. It is getting tight. We see boats from Estonia, boats from Slovenia, boats from Singapore. It's a tight race. Ooh. Tight maneuver there by Estonia's sailor. Let's see what he thinks about it. Great.
Sailing, we were there. Protest
Yeah.
now,
but great sportsmanship by Estonia's Tobias taking the penalty there. Good job. If you do a mistake and you have to correct it.
Come from Singapore coming in.
Thailand sailor Pailin that we saw before was in a strong position, also looking good.
from Belgium.
It is tricky. Look how patchy it is out
Yeah.
there.
Also, Ethan Shia, Singapore. Netherlands, Nicolas Kokok.
Swiss sailor Lena just rounding now. And let's switch cameras. Let's see what we have around.
Yeah.
It's quite hard with these fleets. Everything is so tight. And you don't want to miss anything, but we only have 2 pairs of eyes. We see the leading boats of yellow here. Yellow are already in the second upwind. Looks like Manuel Braganza holding into his first place.
Yeah, this is going to be the home stretch, I think, for the sailors who already earned their place, right? And I would be surprised if we see someone else in the lead here than Manuel Braganza. We still see Carl Birgersson there, right, from Denmark.
Yeah, really pushing Pietro to get that second place overall. But the fleet has extended and not much to do now. Like, if you didn't do your homework before and you didn't get that right decisions in the first part of the upwind, it's very tricky overtaking boats here. So let's see how that rounding in the top mark is going now. We have here the red fleet rounding. Lots of boats still left.
Boats still to go, but it looks like could we already have? No. Way back we see the green fleet as well. Right?
Yeah.
This
Green
is
is
the
gone.
final sailors of red.
You see Canadian sailor approaching the mark. It's Canada's Oliver going here for 2 tacks just in front of this group. Good job there, just rounding. Followed by Belgium. Belgium's Maud, and I believe it's TS from Netherlands.
Seeing the finishing for the yellow fleet here.
Yeah.
All clumped up in this corner, everyone outside of, I think I saw Alexander Forsén from Sweden on the other end trying to find his own path towards the finish line. Let's see if who saw the right spots of wind and avoided the patches that are slower. But from this angle, it's actually looking like it's a little bit more even, but maybe it's just a trick of the light. Yeah.
We see Italy's Pietro just tagging on top of Carl, making it a bit of a tough time for Carl. Let's see what Carl decides to do now. When we see the finishing line in place, we'll be able to see if it would be a better idea to hold there or maybe go for attack. Okay, Carl is going for attack, and we see Germany's Johnny also there. So looks like it's a good idea for Carl to attack like he just did.
Yeah, Johnny had taken the other end. Let's see if he gained or if it was a status quo, more or less. Interesting to see.
We are trying to cover all the fleets, but it's a bit hard covering all at the same time. So we're going to prioritize for this first race a bit more the yellow and red fleet, and in the next race we will do our best to also cover blue and green, as we have 4 races running at the same time. So thanks for everyone watching. And
we'll cut to what I think is the end of the red rounding. Or is it already green? No, it's the end of red.
It's the red. We see the green.
We see in the background still green coming in. So the drone will hang there probably, and then we'll switch back to the finishing, because I think they're getting closer there.
Yes, it's definitely very tight. Lots of things happening around the course, 4 races. Lots of work to do by the race committee and also by us. Back in the yellow fleet, Manuel, no changes, finishing and taking the race. Good job, Manuel.
But let's see who comes in from the other side there. It might have been, if we saw right, we saw, let's see.
It's Carl Vincent, I believe, from Denmark.
Carl is separated from.
Yeah, he managed to make a bit of a distance. So good job there, Carl.
Very good job from.
Looks like Germany. Johnny look.
It was like 3 or 4 before, right? So very good on the upwind from him. Johnny 4.
And Italy's Pietro looks like 4th overall. This is gonna put Manuel in a very comfy position. 5-5-1-2-1. He will discard the 5th place and have a 5-1-2-1. So that will be great for him.
Miles Gordon coming in together with Alexander Forsén, Sweden. Let's see who will break the line first. We also have a Peru sailor.
It's going to be very tight.
In this could be.
We have.
I think it's Joaquin Acevedo. No.
First one is Vania from Peru. Gordon Miles taking 5th overall. Sweden, Alexander taking 6th. Germany's Henry taking 7th. And Peru's Vania taking 8th overall. Now we have Argentina also in the screen here, with a tight battle with Malta. And I believe also Chinese sailor there.
Pichetti from Argentina. Malta 174 is Mattias Pittieri.
Good job, guys. Good job. Race like this and this light stuff is very tricky.
And
we can see also now in the screen the first of the red fleet that are just starting to go on downwind. Light stuff, everybody with their boat heeled. And we're going to be very close to the green rounding. So we'll be joining them in few minutes. Thanks to everyone for joining us one more day. Tomorrow is going to be a very fun day. Lots of protests, lots of penalties, and lots of intensity. It's team racing day 1. And we still have the sailors coming in here. Italian, Austrian, Puerto Rico, Swiss, Canada, all the nations. For sure, sailing is a really wide sport.
And we'll cut over to the green fleet. I think it's the rounding there, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tight. It's...
It looks lighter, right, in this side of the course, Peter?
Yes. It's Slovenia and Sweden duking out for the first place there.
Yeah. Ernst and Slovenians, Val fighting very tight battle for that 3rd place.
Val Gerbej and
we have
Ernst
Italy's Jesper looking there in a good position also.
When Slovenia, Falatov coming in, 2 home sailors rounding at the top.
Looks like they thought it was team racing today, right? And they're going for a round 2.
Yes. They know how to sail these waters, I guess, right? It's a very tight rounding, as we saw in all the other previous ones. Very good.
Very tight stuff here. Greek sailor. I believe it's Odysseus. Yeah, Odysseus is going for attack and rounding.
Followed by Lucas Cow
and USA's Briggs. Good job,
Briggs
guys.
First, Lucas Cow after that.
Looks like some boats overstood ley line, those coming from port. And it's gonna be very tight here, very tight. Portugal's sailor Afonso just going for attack there, followed by Croatia's Vita Ekreg. And next up is Singapore's Tekun. Tight stuff here, tight stuff. Ooh, look at this, how expensive it is to be tight on the mark. You really slow the boat down, and we see that they're gonna be paying it expensive. Lots of distance that they have to catch up now. We see turns here, we see tacks, we see all that can happen in a race. Let's see what else we have here happening. Let's see what fleet it is. Do you know who it is? It is Peter. Looks like the Red Fleet to me, right?
Let's see as we come closer.
Yeah,
it's a fleet so far.
It's a
So
fleet.
it's gonna be a specific one.
It's the Red Fleet. That's Erkut from Turkey leading here. So it's the Red Fleet. Light stuff, very light stuff, very tricky. Look at everyone just healing their boats, trying to not lose that speed. It's very important in these conditions to really heal the boat and be stable, because if you're going to be unstable, maybe it's better to have a bit less of heel to windward. Erkut looking very comfy there with Brazilians. Marcos, followed by Malta's sailor Sebastian in third overall. The fleet has already spread out, and this is very typical, as we're saying constantly in light wind conditions, that the fleet just spreads out. Let us know for who you are cheering here. Who are your guys? Who are the ones you're cheering for? Who do you have your money on?
We see record numbers now. Could it be related to the lack of tracking for today?
Yeah, we are seeing lots of people watching here.
Invite all your friends. YouTube can handle many more than this.
Yes. The YouTube and the conditions of today are making it easy to stream on the internet side, but bit far away. So we'll have to see how it plays out. US Pablo Munoz there, looking stable. You can see everybody with the outhaul very eased, making the sails as deep as possible. Here, what you want is just a sail pushing you forward, pushing you down, and the deeper the sail, the better. You can see everybody with windward heel staying stable. And on the background, we see a bit of the blue fleet, so a bit of everything here, a bit of everything. We see Mexican sailor here from the other group. I believe it's Mexico's Otis. Looks like mid-fleet blue. But our focus right now is on the Red Fleet. These are the top guys in Red Fleet. And we're just going to follow them along. Yeah. It's very light here, very light. The fleet has spread out. Erkut from Turkey looking comfy, very comfy lead there, looking back and just making sure that he's got the fleet controlled. Once he starts going upwind, it's a different story. He'll have everyone behind him, so he's the one taking decisions. But you can see he's not giving up. He wants to pass the blue fleet, and he's going to keep on pushing. Umpire there just checking on everyone. He has to move very slowly to not disturb the kids a lot. But you can see he's checking on them very carefully. Any extra speed here could make a difference. So if it's unfair, the umpire will have to take penalty and have to make a decision. Mehmet just rounding, bailing a bit of water just to start the upwind with a fresh boat.
I'll cut once again, but we'll learn.
Sorry, I will learn slowly. Too many countries, too many sailors. And yeah, he has a good advantage there. Looks like it's gonna be Brazil's Marcos in second overall. Look at how much he's opening the mainsail, just trying to take low. And now he's gone through a rounding. Good pump there, healing.
Everyone in the entire fleet so far choosing the same end of the gate.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Looks like the kids have it clear.
Yes.
We see Slovenia's sailor, followed by Norway and Pablo Munoz from the USA. Another Brazilian, this time it's Arthur Lamin. Arthur is in 10th overall, so he'll take this good race for sure.
Here we see what I think is Sean Cum decided to go for the other one.
And we see a Norway sailor bearing away. Could he have got a penalty for his second penalty for pumping, and that's why he's leaving the race?
Yeah, then it's sadly a red for him.
And yep, unfortunately, that was the second penalty he got. He won't be happy about this one, but the umpires have made a decision and he has to comply.
And that's a special rule. On the second flag, you have to, first flag, you can take your roundings and continue the race.
Yeah.
On the second flag, you really have to go in and retire the race. If you actually finish a race on your second yellow flag, you will get DNE, I think, right? Disqualified, non-excludable.
Yeah.
And that's, you don't want that.
You don't want that happening, that's for sure. You're going to have to...
You can't take it away as a discard, is what that means.
Yes.
Sweden, Elsa BA rounding there. Great view of the bay. There's a fair few sailors out today. Fantastic experience this. World Championship in Portorož, Slovenia. You're seeing here the majority chose to go for one end of the gate. See Pablo Munoz Montes here out on the corner. I think he rounded like 4 or 5, something like that. We also have Malta sailor Sebastian De Mayo following what was Brazilian sailor Suarez, Marco Suarez. And then I think we have Erkut in the lead there. But we also saw someone over there that tacked early that are testing their luck a little bit more towards the right as we see the course now, yeah. Now they have to start plotting their course because they're meeting up with the green fleet, finding their way down towards the gate there, right? I think we see the lead boats there. Green was led by Slovenian home sailors. Both Val and Ida rounded early. We saw Swedish sailor Ernst rounding early as well. And background, we see final roundings there, or it's the Green Fleet. Can't really 100% tell from here. If I had a gate picture, I would sure have put that out in the stream. No, I think that that's the tail end of the red, possibly. Well spread out field. The entire fleet has chosen different paths. Let's see if that has influenced the top of this as we come closer to the finishing, which is there, right? There we see final boats of the blue fleet coming in. And you saw Arcot rounding early. He had this taste of the blue fleet already at the first mark. See Macedonian sailor here, Mila Bulatovic. Portugal, Guillem Ryder. So getting closer and closer. And their Erkut will probably be one. This will be a little bit tricky for us to call because they are so integrated to the blue fleet, but we'll do our best. It looks like Erkut will nail the number one there. The Chinese sailor was not in the red fleet that we saw earlier. So I believe that Erkut is still in the lead, and it would make a lot of sense. Also, the Qatar sailor there, Tamim Shams, is in the blue fleet. So it looks like Erkut is unchallenged for the moment. See if I have a different view of this here. Yes. Very close now for Arkut as he comes in here. Arkut Budak, winner of the Torrevieja regatta this year, getting his well-deserved number one. We see Malta sailor Sebastian De Mayo probably making the number 2 spot there, closely followed by Pablo Munoz Montes in the third spot. Bahaman sailor there, I don't think is part of it's a blue sailor. Philippines as well. So we have Slovenia 487 here. Mihal Sobek securing the next spot. Brazil, is it Brazil? Yeah, finishing there. I think it's hard to see this. I think that was Abdulamin, followed by Guilherme Ryder from Portugal. And it's very slow sailing towards the end for the sailors here. We also have Slovenian Lan. And the Chinese blue. So then we have Singapore. Can't see whether it's Ethan or Sean from the pose. Netherlands was Nicolas Kokok. Thai sailor Pailin Pon. And I saw, now I see Sean Cam crossing, so the previous one was Ethan Shia. And we'll take a short break while we reposition the drone. We're following the green fleet here as we try to find out where they are on the course. This looks like the lead for the green. It's possibly the Slovenian sailor there at the top, followed by Swedish sailor Ernst Åkesson. On the left, that looks like Val Gerbich. Then we have Briggs, Kosman. Italy, that's Jesper Karlsson. And we have Croatian Vita Erkej. Taking a few different paths. Greek sailor Odysseus Detsis was one that is still in the game that we missed before. These five appear to be somewhat in the lead, right? So it's going to be between those. But we also have something out on the left. Impossible to tell at this distance if that's stragglers from the red. Or if they are also in the... But these are, many of those that we've flown past have been the ones rounded first. Jesper Karlsson changing track somewhat to fetch something new, or maybe just secure. Briggs following. We see Ernst actually passing ahead of Jesper. Let's see what happens in the... that looks like Briggs has Ernst though. Yep. And Val riding a little bit higher than all of those. Still light conditions, so I think it's not. I think these are more or less the conditions that we will have to live with. I think that was actually, that is, yeah, that's a sailor that is not part of the green race, right? So we see all the contenders in the picture, probably. Val looking comfortably in the lead as they are coalescing.
So yeah, we're seeing here the top guys in the green fleet, right, Peter?
Yes, Val seems to be in the top, unless we missed something further up.
Yeah.
It looks like Briggs is gunning for a 2, possibly Ernst going for a 3. He passed a little bit on top of Jesper Karlsson.
Looking like few changes here from what I saw last time about the top up with Mark, right? Some guys have managed to overtake the other ones. Looks like I believe
Briggs, I think, has gained a couple.
Yeah.
Val maybe as well, but he was rounding like top 3 and is now solidified that. I think Ernst rounded 1 or 2 at the top and Mark, and it now looks like 4, I think, 3 or 4. Let's see as they come in. And Jesper Karlsson was also, so a few
movements here.
but no major ones as I see. I think Briggs in that case is the one who has finished the race best.
Nice, and looks like Slovenian sailor right there, looking like he's gonna take the bullet.
That's Val. Home sailor, Val Gerbej.
Yeah, Val taking first place. Looks like Swedish Ernst is taking second.
Yes.
It's gonna be tight there, and then it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight with Briggs. Maybe Briggs will take second.
I think if Briggs can make it and is not pushing it, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, attack and cross. Looks like he's gonna take.
But
it's tight. Yeah, he did it. He did a good job, Briggs.
And a number 3 for Ernst Åkesson from Sweden.
Yeah, Ernst.
Maybe he'll get dinner tonight as well.
He won't be unhappy, that's for sure. Jesper taking 4th place. And looks like second Slovenian, Ida, I believe. Yeah, Ida taking 5th overall. Greek sailor looking, Odysseus looking like a 6th, 7th probably, as Singapore's Lucas is going to be overtaking her to him to finish 6th.
But also impressive by the Slovenian sailors, right, on their home court, taking top 5 positions, both Slovenians.
Yes.
Impressive.
And looks like Briggs is there beside the committee end. Will he be filing a protest or something? This is the only time the sailors can do it. They have to notify the finishing end about their intention to protest. So maybe he went there to do that, but we won't know until after racing. Big gap now here, and it looks like Finland sailor. Sisu, I believe it is.
Sailor, yes, very one of the absolute strongest from Finland. So I'm not surprised to see him at the top in some of the races. Good sail, Sisu.
And next up we have Croatia's.
Is that?
That's Vita. No, that's not Vita, no? Yes, it's Vita. Yes. Vita taking 9th, I believe, followed by Portugal's Alfonso. And next,
Lucas Cow, I think, but let's see.
Another Swedish here. This is Didrik.
Didrik Dahlberg from Sweden.
And also
Ernst.
Juan from Spain, also looking good here. Like we're around the 12th. No,
that was Tech 1P.
Yeah, Juan here just doing 2 tags to finish the race. And looks like yellow is close to procedure already, right, Peter? Should we see how they're doing for a second? See how long they have left?
Yeah, they're gathering up, but I don't see
U flag is still not up, so they still have more than 4 minutes. So let's just finish. Oops, I accidentally pressed. I'm sorry. We're here. We're gonna stay with yellow. See how their procedure goes.
Yeah, we unfortunately had to break off the green. This is our biggest challenge while we're waiting for the start in the yellow. The drone batteries, if someone can speed up the pace of battery development, we could stay out on the course with 4 drones all day long.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we have to go and refill and change those batteries.
We're exercising our 3 drones and 3 drone flyers as much as we can. We also have a special guest. Yesterday we had Briggs' father helping out with flying and watching a few starts.
Yeah.
Today we have Vita from the Norway fleet, her big sister. Gwen is helping us being the 3rd drone flyer. So it's everyone is helping out to make us be able to do as much as possible and bring you this.
Everyone is hands-on, so thanks to everyone for helping us around and join us for this 6th race, last race of qualifying before we move to team racing tomorrow.
This is going to be nervous for some of the sailors.
Yes, if some nations won't participate, as you need, I believe, four members for sure. I don't know if the race instructions make compulsory a 5th member, but yeah, you're just gonna need 4 sailors, and some countries have come with less, so they might not all be able to participate.
Now I think we're getting closer. Can't see the flags from here, but the shape of the line is. But we haven't had any recalls today, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes,
not
but
that I've seen.
Let's not oversay anything before.
So I said we don't have it 5, but now, as I said, probably race 1 and race 6 is the highest on the tension level for the sailors, right?
Yeah.
To start good, and now they need to find their way into to the different groups for the 4th day of individual sailing. That will not happen tomorrow. Will happen 3 days from now. And that's where we stop randomizing them or taking them in the starting procedure as we did today with yellow, blue, red, and green in an up and down worm. They will instead be sorted into gold, silver, bronze, and emerald fleet. So this is all vying for that position to get into as high a group as possible. And from that point, you will the ones in gold fleet, you cannot drop into below the ones in silver, etc. all the way around, right?
Yeah, and you'll see always that last one in gold will have more points than the first one in silver. And even though they're in front, we do this cut so we can see the best of the best battling it out in the gold fleet.
Favoring more towards Pirat. We saw the previous days, the bulk of the sailors were more towards the committee boat, right? And we saw a very strong way towards starting over there, going straight out left. But here we see a completely different starting line experience, right? So different conditions today, definitely, than the other days. We have some boats over the line.
Yeah, and I think maybe you overdid it now, and we'll have a general recall. Let's see what the race committee thinks. It was for sure very tight, and we see those in the pin already pushing forward. French, Polish, and Brazilian sailors really pushing that pin, and ooh, we see New Zealand very close. Ooh, New Zealand got stuck there. He for sure won't like this.
And this is the key if you're a sailor, right? You will not abandon race. So far there hasn't been a general recall.
That means the race committee thinks it's clean.
Yeah.
As soon as we can, we'll post the updated results with the fifth race. But as for the moment, the green fleet is still finishing, so we just don't have them ready. We see here in this right side of the course, we see Charles Ganivet from France, Sweden's Alexander Forsen pushing again. Manuel Braganza also pushing.
Same guys we saw up.
And Pedro de Cerqueira, another Brazilian guy pushing here. We haven't seen him in the other races, but looks like he's finally been able to get a good start and pushing. Andrea de Murtas pushing again here with Carl Vincent, I believe.
No, that's Fred Pontoppidandoleris.
But just deciding we have Carl. And then Australian sailor Walter, and I believe it's Pietro here also. We're seeing the same guys pattern repeating. Looks like they got their lessons right and they're just redoing. They have the homework done, they're fast, and they're just pushing again. It's all about execution.
Actually, Tam from Singapore, Margot and Nguyen, Hong Kong, all vying for position there, right?
Again, looking very patchy. We see a bit more pressure in the left side of the course. If you're checking, the top right of our screen is looking.
From Poland there, really good track, has separated himself from the rest of the field. Fleet trying the right, see what that gives him. I need to correct myself. It's Camille who is the Norwegian little sister of Gwen here. So sorry for jumping to another sailor. Great overview. Here you also see in this angle you really see the patches of wind. You don't want to end up in those areas you see there. You'll be distinctly slower than the other ones. But you also see that big parts of the course is covered in higher wind patches. So this is what these sailors know, and that's why they're competing in the World Championship. We, of course, see the group that got away early there with Charles Ganivet from France having a good position there. Those are the ones who separated early, and of course, they have a commanding lead at this point, provided that everything went well for the miles scored on there as well. Alexander Forsen, we saw. Also, Alexander Montague sailed past us there. We have Manuel Braganza from Brazil. We have Alfred Pontoppidan-Dolores. We have also Pietro Lucchesi. And there we see Torre de Lo from Netherlands, followed by Margot Nguyen. Just out of the picture, we also have Ashley Tam from Singapore, Carl Birgersen. And also still Viktor Kruszinski, a little bit separated there on the right side. Similar as the last flyover, I would say.
Looking light again. Maybe a bit more wind than when we started the day, but it's definitely a light day. You see Polish here, sailor here, Victor, I believe. Was it Victor? Yeah. Victor looking good. Those on the left side again, really extended. Good lessons that can be learned here, especially for the sailors that are racing at the Worlds. That can be taking these lessons and seeing what's paying off for the finals day. Manuel Braganza pushing again for this left side of the course, whilst French Charles Ganivet just goes a bit more to the center. Looks like Manuel is going to be going into a black patch there in front. There, yeah, Manuel overall leading, took a bullet before and now has 5-5-1-2-1 on his scorecard, so he will for sure be happy going into tonight. Definitely light. In the optis, when it's light, what they do is bring the boat a bit to windward. They reduce drag, and this, if they can't slow the boat, then it's good for them. If they slow, they'll start going very, very sideways. But if they don't slow the boat and they can manage to bring it to windward, they'll just reduce a bit the drag of the boat and make themselves go a bit faster. Looking extremely light there at the top. We see the mark in the top left of our screens, and it's looking very light on that side of the course. If I were a sailor, I would try and avoid that and just go to that left side that looks a bit more full. Great overview here. We can see already how the fleet is starting to spread out. Brazil's Manuel Braganza just going for attack there, and we have Swedish Alexander looking like an early leader, for sure dominating on this left side group. And we have here two US sailors, that's Miles and Alexander Montagu, finally doing a good race. Looks like tight at the moment between Alexander and Alexander, one from the US and one from Sweden. Two Alexanders going 1-2. Maybe it's the day of Alexander Day. Underneath him we have Miles Gordon, and to leeward of him we have Portuguese Vicente Costa. We haven't seen Vicente in the recent races, but look like he's finally getting everything into place. Let's just check what's Vicente in the overall. Vicente Costa 184, 55, 23, 41, 55. So he'll be happy if he can take a good race now, that's for sure. And see if it can put him into silver fleet or even gold fleet contention, depending on what he did in the last race. Still waiting for the updated results of race 5, so once we know them, we'll let you know. Looking good, Alexander there. Looking very good in this lead. Boat to windward, you can see how slightly he's moving his tiller and just being very light with everything. Here, if you're too aggressive, you can really slow the boat, so you have to pull when the boat lets you pull and ease when it's asking you to ease. Really have to feel the boat. Many sailors in this light stuff are sailing barefoot. Just makes it very, very easy for them to feel. And a trick that coaches are always doing to see if you can feel the boat is you put a pen in the sailor's feet and you see how he feels it with shoes and without shoes, and you can really see the difference. The boat really transmits a lot of speed in these conditions, and it's really, really important to be precise when you can pull and when you have to ease. Manuel Braganza here, our overall leader of the regatta, sailing with a slightly different style from Alexander, using more the rudder. French sailor Charles Ganivet, all of them have something in common, and it is that they are being very soft. They are being very careful to not slow the boat and also to not do any infringements of over pumping. So good job by you guys. We will be soon going to see the Blue Fleet start when they're going. Looks like there's a bit of delay and they're getting ready soon, but it's very light. The race committee has to be very careful when to start the race to make sure it's fair. But as of now, they're doing a really great job. So congrats to you guys on doing this.
Yeah. And in these conditions, the conditions we had the 2 days before, fantastic, right? Just go, especially yesterday. Just go 8 races, quick day. but it's when it gets very windy or conditions like this, it's a bit.
We have N flag. They has just abandoned the race. Shame for Alexanders that were leading, but
the
anyway,
leaders will not like this decision.
No, some people.
Speaking about light wind, right? Hard for us to say sitting inside the studio, but the race committee has taken this decision. Can be done for multiple reasons, right? A very large wind shift, i.e. the wind is coming in from another angle. That makes the course not valid, right?
Yeah.
But it can also be if you are experiencing too little wind.
Yeah, basically the race committee is looking for fair conditions, and if it feels that the conditions are not fair, and then it's turning into a rowing competition because you just have to pump because there's no wind, well, they can take this decision. Looks very right for me, as it was getting extremely light, and maybe they were also seeing some type of wind shift, so well done there, race committee. Thanks to everyone for joining today. And we would just like also to thank our sponsors of the stream. We have CD Sales, One Sales, Facenda, and Winner collaborating with us. So thanks to all of them. Check their great products, great brands, all of them that are making top performance equipment used by many of the sailors here.
So while waiting, we'll insert a couple of sponsor messages and hover over this as we find out how soon they can restart the yellow race. There's no signals that this has been cancelled for the day. This is just maybe a course reset, or let's see when we have more information. In the meantime, we'll take a short pause and we'll sign off with a couple of messages from our sponsors.
And yeah, just everyone stay connected. We could resume racing very, very soon, so don't leave us. We'll be hopefully very soon racing again. Thanks.
Inside me, son of a god, I'm like a titan that's rising. No, just you watch, I'm stepping into fate. This is how legends are made.
Hello from Portorož, from the World Championship venue 2025. We are here with our beautiful venue. We expect medium light wind, but can be everything here. So the kids are ready. I see many sailors come earlier here. We are here from One Sail to support them, and we will do our best for them. If they need advices, they know where we are, and we will help everybody.
So just back to report to you that we have an updated results screen on the homepage of the Optimist World Championship. We see some changes here. Ollie has gone up to the top. And as you can follow this on your own phones, but we'll leave it on for a short while for you to have a look at the top, whatever we can fit into the screen. Yeah. So you reach this by going to 2025 worlds.optiworld.org. Thank you. Just a short update from the race committee. There is still not much wind for currently at the starting ship. There is current present in the course. They are still going to wait for a while yet to see if things improve. So we'll be
that's rising, oh, just you watch. I'm stepping into fate. This is how legends are made.
Hello from Portorož, from the World Championship venue 2025. We are here with our beautiful venue. We expect medium light wind, but can be everything here. So the kids are ready. I see many sailors come earlier here. We are here from one sail to support them, and we will do our best for them. If they need advices, they know where we are, and we will help everybody.
Looks like we are going to be finishing for today. Unfortunately, the wind hasn't filled in, so it looks like we're gonna call it a day. Thanks to everyone for joining, and we just leave you with these final shots of the sailors going back to Marina.